I felt taken care of.
Without the help of CHEO, I probably would not be in the path I am today.
The value of CHEO is immeasurable.
Live
at CHEO.
Plus virtual visitors from all over the city and region.
Kids like me love CHEO. Thank you, CHEO.
And live from the CTV studios in the Byward Market.
Good job.
This is the CHEO Telethon. Your telethon hosts from CTV News, Graham Richardson and Patricia Bull.
And we want to welcome you back to the final hour of the CHEO Telethon.
We are in the home stretch, our final push to get those phone lines ringing. Joining us now, Steve Reed, Acting President and CEO of the CHEO Foundation. Welcome, great to have you here. Talk about this day and what it means to the foundation and the hospital as a whole.
It's a great day, isn't it? It's just been a great day all along. Our whole team just loves the opportunity to, shine a spotlight on some of the amazing contributions from our community over the course of the year, and to tell some stories about the amazing kids that we serve and how they're benefiting from that generosity.
I mean, there are so many events through the year for CHEO, but this is really the culmination. We get to shine a spotlight on some of those events and fundraisers rather, and then raise those extra dollars as well that are necessary. It all comes together in one big weekend.
Exactly. It's a big celebration, and we love that part of it, but it's also a chance for us to remind the community of how important the needs are at CHEO, and for us to raise some money along the way for those that are inclined to donate.
Every year I'm struck by the larger and larger corporate contributions through customers, the LCBOs, the Walmarts, the Costcos. But every year I'm also struck by that number and that line underneath that we're scrolling. There's $100, there's $50. What does that kind of a ownership of the institution mean for you?
Isn't that exactly right? Is we have everything from the large corporate donations that are so important to us, but there's lots of lemonade stands and lots of school groups and lots of individual donations that come in over the course of the weekend, and all of it feeds into that big number that we are so proud to report at the end of the telethon.
And we touched on it with CHEO President Alex Munter earlier, but what are some of the needs that are really outstanding right now at the hospital after such a challenging couple of years?
Yeah, well, I always like to say the best way to explain where the money goes is to imagine taking a little tour through the hospital as we have an opportunity to do. And when we do that, we see physicians and nurses working with state-of-the-art equipment, and we know that those are pieces of equipment that have only been acquired through the support of the community. And as you've heard recently, there are programs like the Child Life program that are helping coach and mentor and support kids through their medical journeys, and those are fully funded by the community. So, just about every aspect of CHEO life is affected by the community.
The notion that it is completely taxpayer funded is wrong. Requiring donations from the public is a part of the formula, as always. You're going to be here with us for the final hour, the exciting hour where we reveal everything. So it's great for you. We're thrilled that you're here. And thanks so much for being here. And we're going to get going here in the final hour, Patricia.
All right, good stuff. We'll talk to you more in just a little bit, Steve. But right now we are going to keep her working. Leanne Cusack, we're throwing it over to you. Leanne.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce you or reintroduce you to this guest who's a perennial fundraiser for CHEO, to Mark Mullen. After more than 25 years of fundraising, Mark is a CHEO star. And might I add, he is a member of the Order of the Good Bear, the CHEO Foundation. It's really nice to see you, Mark.
Nice to see you, Leanne.
And you're here representing, as always, Enbridge with your daughter in mind. Please tell us what you've been up to.
Well, actually, my daughter's going to be 30 years old this year. So she's a young, vibrant young lady, very independent and living on her own, which is a good thing moving forward.
And that's all because of CHEO, Mark, isn't it?
She was a 30-day resident of CHEO for the first 30 days of her life. She was in neonatal intensive care, and everything is worked out. And so I raised this money to, with the help of many other sponsors, to make sure that other families have the same chance as my family had for a very successful outcome.
Very beautifully put. And Mark, what have you done? What have you raised?
This year, again, we're running a little late because of COVID and everything going on. And this year, I'll be presenting a check for $18,000.
That is absolutely incredible. Well, nothing holds you back, Mark, and thank you to you and to your family at Enbridge as well. The CHEO team is so incredibly grateful.
As I said, it's all about giving back so someone else has the same good fortune that my family did. So over the last 26 years, we've raised together $542,000.
That is amazing. Everyone's clapping at that amount. Thanks again, Mark. My heavens.
Thank you.
Yeah, $500,000, not bad. We love the giving back. And our next guest is no stranger to CHEO, living with type 1 diabetes for the last 8 years.
2019 CHEO champion Eric Sears joins us now. Eric, I know a fair bit about this particular disease. Tell me about when you were diagnosed and how far you have come. It is a lifelong commitment to try to manage this.
Yeah, so I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old, and obviously I was really, really scared. I'm 8. And I remember getting lots of insulin injections daily, and I was just screaming a lot. And I just remember my mom telling me and saying that I needed these needles to live. And that was just the scariest part, just that realization. But now, honestly, I can't remember a time when I didn't have diabetes. I mean, I still don't like needles, but it's become a part of my everyday life. And type 1 diabetes, it's definitely made me mature early and has made me a stronger person.
It's like a full-time job, right?
Oh yeah, it requires 24 hours, 7 days a week of just constant management.
Do you remember a point where you managed to take control of it, or was it a more gradual process?
Well, I feel like the nurses and the educators, they all helped me really process my way into it. But my doctors all said that I was very mature, and I was ready to get into it, and I made the decision that I was the one that controlled diabetes, and diabetes wasn't the one that controlled me. So I always had that positive mentality.
Good for you. Good for you. And we should tell people out there, when you have this in check, under control, you can live a normal life. And I'm sure you're a very active young guy. And when you're in control, you can have a fabulous life, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, type 1 diabetes has not stopped me from doing anything. Like there's a couple little adjustments I have to do. Maybe put in some insulin for my blood sugar is too low or too high, or make sure I eat something when I do exercise or activities. But it really has not stopped me from doing anything in my life.
And what are you looking forward to in the future?
Well, like departments. I think just because I had the most amazing diabetes educators, and it's made me think that that's something I want to do in my future, because I mean, I like helping kids. And I feel like since I have type 1 diabetes, I'm obviously able to relate to what they're going through. And I am a counselor at a type 1 diabetic camp. So I help kids there, and I really like doing it.
I'm sure you're doing wonderful work, Eric. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate this.
That's that full circle stuff that Alex Munter was talking about earlier.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful to see.
Yeah, and these older kids helping out the younger kids, whether it's diabetes or some other challenge, it's just great to see.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you know, it's a huge responsibility for teenagers to take ownership of that, and he's done an incredible job. We are going to pause for just a moment for another miracle match.
This miracle match is sponsored by Danby Foundation.
And in our 6 o'clock hour, here we go. Here is Stefan Keys again. Stefan.
Final stretch, guys, final stretch. The Danby Foundation is a charitable organization of well-known philanthropists Dan Greenberg and Barbara Crook, who are dedicated to helping our community. Once again, they're proud to support CHEO and are thrilled to be a part of the telethon with this $10,000 miracle match. Matt, let's not waste time. Shall we start the clock?
Hey, this
right
is
on cue.
One of 4 miracle matches coming at you quick and fast here in the final hour of the CHEO Telethon. If you're tuning in for news, too bad. It's a CHEO Telethon. Pick up your phone and call us instead. 613-730-CHEO. 613-730-2436. Now, you can still get all your news, ctvnewsottawa.ca. I don't want to completely negate the fact
Tonight
it's
at
online.
11:30 as well.
And tonight at 11:30.
But right now, It's about the kids.
I saw the Miracle Match come. As soon as we talked about Miracle Match, everyone started to get on the phone in our virtual phone bank. It is wonderful to see that. And we have a quick shout out to Dave and Ann Trick from Perth. They gave $10,000 earlier today, encouraging all other CHEO grandparents to join them in giving what they can to support our CHEO. So $10,000. Thank you, Dave and Ann, for that. If they can give 10 grand, you can give $5. I'm going to yell at you some more because that's a wonderful amount. Thank you to them for that. But you do your part by picking up the phone and calling us right now. Joy, how much time do we have left?
There are only 2 minutes left in this miracle match. What are you waiting for? Call now.
Call us right now. The numbers are on your
much
screen.
nicer than you.
Okay.
Instead of yelling at the people at home, we want them to give.
Really excited. And when I get really excited,
really animated,
things happen like that.
Please, just call 613-730-CHEO or go online, CHEOTelethon.com. We'd love to match your donations up to $10,000.
Let's recap it for you. We're at the top of the hour, so let's take you through our board. $10 donation right now here in the next minute and 30 seconds will equal $20 for CHEO. $25 donation will equal $50 to CHEO. Thank you to the Danby Foundation for sponsoring this $10,000 miracle match. So in the next, again, minute and 20 seconds, everything that we raise up to $10,000 is going to be doubled. This is when, if you haven't donated yet, your donation is going to have the biggest impact. So give us a call right now. It's easy. Pull out the phone. You can't text us, unfortunately, but you can call us in order to have your donation heard. Eli, what do we have left?
Only 1 minute left in this miracle match. Call now and make your donation.
Yes, please. Please do that too. I promise I won't throw anything else at you.
Be nice to everyone at home, please.
I know. I'm sorry.
But
sorry.
if you don't know why you should give, you should know by now. We've heard so many stories. We've done so many stories ourselves personally, where we can say firsthand the impact that CHEO is having on these families. We do the follow-up talks with them. They go from telling us their heartbreak to having big smiles on their faces, seeing how far their children have come along in the healing process. And CHEO is there for them every step of the way, folks.
And I still remember, the stories that we talked about. I remember Tyra, who was diagnosed with cancer and had gone through quite the journey, still talk to her family about her journey and how things are going. It's these kind of situations, it stays with you. Anybody who's been affected by CHEO, anybody who's been impacted by CHEO in any way knows the role and knows how important they are to these kids and to our community. Here's your chance to give back. I know, even if it's only a little bit, it's your opportunity. Get in right now.
It all counts.
Last minute one. If you missed this, we've got lots more to come. Thank you to the Danby Foundation once again for sponsoring that miracle match. Let's go back to the desk.
I've been saving another poop joke for the final hour, but you guys are so genuine and sincere that I'm going to keep saving it for just a little bit.
All right.
Stuff,
Wow,
guys.
that's something to stick around for. Let's head to Leanne Cusack one more time.
So often it's CHEO families doing the fundraising. Dean and Janine Otto are parents who channeled the tragic loss of their darling daughter, Maddie, into a movement in her memory. Dean and Janine join us now. Maddie's memory is kept alive through Maddie's Gala. Please tell us about your beautiful bright light and why you were so moved to raise funds over so many years for CHEO.
Yes, tragically, we lost our daughter in 2007. She was at CHEO and then went to Roger Nielsen House. She was only there for about 6 hours, but it was in the 2 years after that we continued to get bereavement counseling and things like that. And I always tell the story of, a child's birth is so beautiful and you want everybody and loved ones around. You never want to go through the death of a child, but if you do, you absolutely 100% want to be in a place like Roger Nielsen House.
It is an incredible place, and I think that your description of that place has moved so many to get involved, including those in the construction industry who are joining us on screen right now. I'll have you introduce yourselves, please.
Hi, my name is Kathy Sutherland, and I'm the Executive Director of the National Capital Heavy Construction Association, which is comprised...
Sorry, Catherine, I didn't mean to cut you off. Above you, we have...
Yeah. Hi, I'm Ray Shannon. I'm the past chairman of the Ottawa Construction Association.
And what moved you to both get involved?
National Capital Heavy Construction Association was very happy to participate in last year's Construction Community Cares Parade, which was an equipment parade past CHEO to entertain the children that were there.
Well, we want to thank you so much for your involvement because you have brought along a virtual check for how much?
Ray, do you know the exact amount?
I do. It's $120,980.
That is
a tremendous accomplishment.
We want to thank you all so very, very much. And Janine and Dean, thank you, as always, for sharing your personal story and your ongoing dedication to CHEO and to Roger Neilson House.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
That's one of those personal stories that became much larger, Steve. Like, it's an incredible amount of money.
It really is, and so many of our amazing fundraising efforts in the community do originate with a very, very personal story. And you know, we have to thank all the families that have really opened up their hearts and shared very, very private stories with the community in order to help us generate the funds.
And I think that's why so many out there and on our tote board and everywhere else connect with CHEO in such a big way.
For sure, and it's amazing how the leading edge research that is happening at CHEO right now impacts those personal stories. Stefan Keys takes a look at that for us, Steph.
Well, right now we're so lucky to have with us Dr. Jason Berman. He is CEO and Scientific Director at CHEO's Research Institute. Good day to you, Doctor.
Hi, Stefan. Nice to chat with you.
Nice to chat with you again as well. Dr. Berman, I know that, when it comes to research, everyone in the medical community has been so preoccupied with COVID. People put their research projects on hold so that they can help out and really discover what's going on with the virus. Would you say that we're now starting to get back to the work that we used to do?
Absolutely. And in fact, at the CHEO Research Institute, we were one of the first hospital-based research institutes in the province to reinstate research not related to COVID, while we've continued to have many of our researchers pivot and work on COVID-type research. But all of those other health problems don't go away, and so it's really important that we're able to continue that important work.
I agree wholeheartedly, and firstly, thank you to you and your team for what you're doing to help out during the pandemic. But as you mentioned, there are things like cancer research that is so essential for how we move forward as a society and help to get children in particular, but really the general population, healthy and living longer. Talk to us a little bit about some of the most latest developments in that type of research.
Yeah, so thanks for raising that. And as you know, I'm a pediatric oncologist and engaged with cancer research myself. And, we've seen that during the pandemic, actually, many children with cancer have actually come to attention later than they normally would because their parents were anxious about bringing them into hospitals and to see doctors. And that's very worrisome because then their cancer has progressed and may be more difficult to treat. There's lots of work that's going on now in childhood cancers around immunotherapy, in particular, using drugs that help the body's immune system fight off the cancer. And those have been tremendously powerful treatments that have improved cure rates in diseases that didn't have high cure rates before. And in some cancers, like some leukemias that had high cure rates, these treatments, these immunotherapies are much better tolerated and have fewer side effects. And so we've seen improved outcomes and fewer toxicities.
And some of your research in particular is so fascinating. I always want to tell people about the zebrafish, but I never do it justice. So tell us a little bit about how you work with zebrafish.
Yeah, so our lab here in Ottawa at CHEO and the University of Ottawa is the only zebrafish lab in the country really focused on cancer and rare disease research. The zebrafish, which are these small tropical fish with stripes that originate from the Ganges River in India, are remarkably similar to humans at the genetic level. They have about all the same proteins, cells, pathways that humans do. And the fish reproduce very quickly. They reproduce externally and create hundreds of these transparent embryos that allow us to see what's going on quite easily. And so in our lab, we have a number of different projects ongoing where we're able to put human cancer cells, human cancer genes into these fish, make models of these human cancers, and then test drugs just by adding them to the water where these little fish are swimming around and finding drugs that can improve these diseases.
I love it. I love it. And before I let you go, final question. If you could relay a message directly to donors who are watching right now, what would you say to them about the impact that they have?
So, research is not funded by the provincial government the way clinical care is. And so we're really dependent on our donor community and their support through the foundation to undertake all of our research projects. And that's both COVID research. We've done groundbreaking work at CHEO in wastewater detection of SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. And those approaches have been adopted across the country and internationally. And that work was started at CHEO. We've also we've been a site for vaccines for our youngest patients as part of a clinical trial. In order to support that, again, that requires donor funds to support the pharmacists, the nurses, the clinical research associates to be able to undertake that type of vaccine trial to demonstrate how safe the vaccine is. We have had other studies where we've been looking at transmission in people's homes, and that's just the COVID research. We've also done unbelievable work in rare genetic disorders in terms of diagnosing these rare diseases and trying to identify treatments to improve the quality of life for children, mental health research, and we know how many kids and youth have been affected from a mental health perspective by the pandemic, being isolated in their homes, and really looking at how to research in areas of healthy, active living and how to get kids outdoors, away from the screens, and back out doing what kids should be doing. So all of this is only possible with donor support, and with ongoing donor support through the telethon and other initiatives, we're able to continue this groundbreaking research to ensure that we deliver the best care that's research informed to our children in the community.
Dr. Berman, thank you so much for joining us here on the telethon, and thank you so much for all the work you do. We know this is about the kids, but we all benefit. Our entire families benefit from some of the advancement and research that goes on at CHEO. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Stefan.
And Steve Reed is the acting president and CEO of the CHEO Foundation. You've been around the CHEO side long enough to know about that incredible groundbreaking research, but I guess one of the bonuses on the foundation side is you get to meet some of these incredible families that it does benefit.
We do, and you know, I feel like we're in such a privileged position to really bear witness to the very best of the human spirit. I mean, we see these kids that are battling courageously illness and injury and disease, and we see their families that are rallying around them with their love and support, and yet we also see the donor community that just seems to have decided that, you know, child health and child well-being is a priority for this area, and you know, we just sort of exist in the middle of that dynamic, and it inspires us and it makes us love what we do.
Fantastic. And another fantastic thing, we're in the final hour, so we're going to check our tote board again. We were well above 6 million. Look at this, Patricia. It keeps going.
Those numbers are just climbing. Yeah, another incredible total.
7.3 million.
And we know some big donations here to come down this final stretch, so it's going to go even higher. We'd love to have your help in making that happen.
We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Well, we bring you an inspiring update now of a CHEO patient who captured the heart of the community after appearing on our program 2 years ago.
Here's Steph Keys once again. Steph.
N-O-S-E, nose.
You're amazing.
Allowing us to poke our noses into their lives yet again. A mother's love comes with different life lessons after seeing her baby boy survive cancer.
She's sort of blowing all of our expectations out of the water.
Parents are known to celebrate the little things.
And your equation is subtraction, so it's going to be take away.
Yet jubilation over Wyatt's wit and intellect as a math whiz is warranted, knowing his development could have been negatively impacted from aggressive treatments.
I'm wearing a tiny jacket and I look very handsome.
Now 5, the last time we spoke to him 2 years ago, his energy was very much the same.
Good job! Thanks, everybody.
But fear around his condition, much different.
Cancer is a monster that's just waiting behind you to remind you, like, don't get excited. You know, don't be happy about this because I'm still here.
As a journalist, there are some interviews that come with quotes you'll remember forever. That was one of them. Now reuniting 2 years later where there's more laughter instead of tears.
That's great, though. It's nice.
We asked Samantha if that monster was still a concern.
It is and it isn't, because I think now it's sort of always a fear of ours, and it does linger, and it does sort of remind you, like, it happened and it can happen to anyone at any time.
It happened to Wyatt when he was 10 months old. He rang the cancer-free bell when he was 3, and his health status remains the same.
He's really doing so great. He's really such a great guy, and he has such a wonderful family.
But if you ask Wyatt's parents, the high school sweethearts say that word family now includes all the staff and volunteers at CHEO. And while community generosity is much needed for things like life-saving equipment and research to help with gentler treatments, it's often the little things that leave a lasting impression. Once CHEO became a full-time homestead for 7 months.
They would bring Wyatt bracelet kits and coloring and movies just to keep him busy, especially when you're isolated, because once you're isolated, you can't leave.
And that was pre-pandemic. Now a healthy kindergartner is off to school, living life as he should.
I'm gonna have a happy meal with chicken and fries in it.
Those amazing personal stories, right?
That's a great update on Wyatt. Yeah, that's excellent.
Go ahead.
We just can't wait to get to a miracle match now.
This miracle match is sponsored by The Kitchen Guy.
Let's head again to Stefan Keys kicking off our miracle match. Steph.
I'm so excited for Miracle Match, just like you. Can't wait to get to it either. With 25 years of experience in the industry, the Kitchen Guy aims to create a meaningful impact with each customer. And as a parent, he knows the importance of supporting our children's hospital. Welcome Andre and Annette Gwinnett, and thank you for coming on board this year as a Miracle Match. Welcome to the telethon.
Well, thank you for having us.
Tell us what inspires you to give, and what do you have to say to those watching at home to encourage them to donate?
Well, first of all, this is the first time we've partnered with CHEO, so we're very excited about this. How this came about is basically a very good friend of ours, Selena, works for the CHEO Foundation, and not too long ago we had dinner with her, and she passionately talked about how she loves her job and how she witnesses the impacts every day of, you know, all the good that comes from the donations from various local businesses that partner with CHEO. And I realize how lucky we are to live in such a generous community like ours. And, you know, you've just announced over $7 million raised so far, and that's fantastic. So that inspired us to get involved.
Well, we're so happy to have you on board. Thank you so much for supporting CHEO. We're going to match those donations. Matt,
yes,
shall we start the clock?
Start the clock right now.
Let's
do it.
We got to keep it rolling here, folks.
Right away, $5,000 miracle match. Jump on. Again, the number is on your screen right now, 613-730-CHEO, 613-730-2436. We've said it a number of times, but it's your chance to have your donation made. We're in the fun zone. We can't forget we're in the fun zone, but we need you to have a little bit of fun, too. Jump on and make a donation right now.
That's right. And CHEO has so many programs to keep the healthcare system fun for the children and for their patients, to keep them entertained, take their mind off of everything they're going through. So all of your donor dollars goes to helping keep things fun for them as well.
Whether it's like child life specialists
That's
who are
right.
trying to, which we showed you a little bit earlier, their role, what they do. Cancer patients too. CHEO admits 80 of them every single year, and they're caring for 500 families on their cancer journeys. We just heard about Wyatt and got that wonderful update from you, having a chance to speak to Wyatt, to his family, about how he's doing, which is wonderful. Kingston and Jalen, tell us how much time we have left.
There's only 2 minutes left in this miracle match.
Pick up the phone and donate now.
Oh, there we go!
Cannonball! I love it from Kingston.
Make a splash for CHEO. Let's go, folks. Pick up the phone, 613-730-CHEO.
Okay, we're gonna have a little fun.
Where's he going now?
No, just a little bit of fun. Okay, we're in the fun zone. Just hold this one. Just hold this one. Ready? Okay, they can jump in the pool. We can shoot some hoops. Ready? Huh!
Wow,
oh, that was terrible.
That was an epic fail.
That was a balloon.
So,
hold on. Wait.
Actually, shoot your shot and score for CHEO.
It went in the next turn. It went in the next turn.
I didn't see it.
We're halfway through.
Did you see it?
We're halfway through this miracle match. I'm going to grab it again. Okay, you ready? Oh, it's just terrible.
You know what? Let me just help you out here.
Yeah, we need some
slam
help.
dunk.
Yeah.
You can do a slam dunk for CHEO.
You can do it yourself. That was just terrible on my part.
Yeah,
but please
that's
do better
awful.
than me by calling us right now, 613-730-CHEO, 613-730-2436. Your donation is doubled right now in the next minute and 10 seconds. Pick up the phone, call us now. We need your help in order to help the kids at CHEO. Nico, I know this guy. How much time do we have left?
1 minute left from this miracle match.
And what do people have to do?
Open the car.
call. They need to call.
So Nico's a Scooby.
Yeah, full disclosure, and it took a little while to get that done, but you know what doesn't take a long time is picking up the phone and calling us right now, because thanks to the kitchen guy, we're matching your donations up to $5,000 here in the next, 38 seconds is how long you have to call. Don't forget, you can go online, CHEOTelethon.com, but we're having a blast here right now.
That's right.
Have a little bit of fun with our virtual
Keep
phone
our friends
bank.
busy over here.
They are very busy, which is great. Tell them that we say hi when you call into them. Tell them we've sent you, in fact. Do that Matt and Stefan have sent us, and that you are making a donation right now to help the kids at CHEO.
We're doubling it up, folks. Any amount helps. Any amount. Not too small, not too big. We'll take it all. Slam dunk for CHEO.
It still didn't even stay in.
No, it didn't stay in. You should really stop digging that hole that you're doing.
We have a couple more miracle matches.
Yeah. Let's
Thanks, sir.
send them back to the desk.
Yeah, thanks.
We're here till the end.
Thanks. Yeah.
And take your trash.
Okay, fine.
Might be some fodder for the blooper tape from the Fun Zone.
I thought you were the one who was bad at basketball around here.
That was about 12 years ago, even longer.
It will
And
never die.
Marcotte kept it on a loop.
Marcotte's my pickleball partner now, so we're keeping it going.
That's right. CHEO's emergency department's been providing emergency care since 1974. It sees more than 75,000 kids a year.
An excellent way to change the subject. We do appreciate that. Our kid reporter, Zach, takes us behind the scenes now. Zach.
Hi, I'm Zachary, one of the CHEO Kid reporters here live from the emergency department. I'm here live with Gabby, a nurse practitioner, and she's going to tell us about the emergency department.
Welcome.
Thank you. Gabby, about how many kids visit the emergency department each year?
Well, that's a lot. It's almost 80,000. A lot of people come through our doors.
And what are a lot of reasons that there are kids in the emergency department?
Cuts, scrapes, broken bones, injuries. You know, we've had things up people's noses, things in people's ears, all that kind of stuff.
What are some of the things in CHEO's emergency department that are especially for kids?
We have child life workers who are fantastic, who help us do things like explain procedures in a child-friendly language, play-based experience here when we try to do things that may be more painful or more disruptive. Specialty equipment that is smaller than the average in an adult hospital, like blood pressure cuffs that would fit almost around my pinky. We do connect with families. We try as much as we can to provide them the best holistic, family-centered care possible, and that's really what I love the most about working here.
Thank you, Gabby. It sounds like we gotta let you go back to work.
Yes, thank you so much. Take care.
Back to you, Graham and Patricia.
Our reporters should do that. Like go into the camera
A
like
little more
that.
close up?
Great job.
Yeah, they're all
Fun.
good-looking people too.
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to go back to this good-looking gal, Leanne.
Thanks. Now to a winter event that warms our hearts. In the spring, during this telethon, 24-hour Tremblant is a perennial event that exceeds expectation. Joining us now is Simon Saint-Arnaud, the executive director of 24 Hours Tremblant. Really great to see you, Simon.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Ah, ça va bien, merci. Aujourd'hui, oh my heavens, I just peeked at the check. I'm really great now. Thank you. Tell us what you've done. Tell us about the history of this great event.
Yeah, the 24 Hours of Tremblant has been running for 22 years. Mind you, we had 2 bumpy editions, but we managed to carry on and carry through because of children's causes that we cherish so much. So over the 21 years, we managed to raise millions of dollars. And it's important for us to redistribute the portion of those funds in the Ottawa and Gatineau area and region. So our partner of choice has been the CHEO for the last 2 years. So just a quick reminder that the 24-hour event is a mass participation event where 300 teams, so 3,000 people, gather in Tremblant in the month of December to do the relay challenge of skiing, running, or walking in the idea of raising funds. And we've managed to push through the pandemic and raise a total of $4.1 million. And today, I'm very happy to announce that we're going to distribute a check of $600,000 to the CHEO, supporting cancer for children and research and treatment. And that's nearing $1 million of redistribution to CHEO over the last 2 years. So we're very excited to be with CHEO because they are the one doing the work. But on our end, if we can generate as much money as we can, that's our job.
Simon, un grand merci. Thank you so very much.
Yes, thank you. And we've been having a little bit of fun here today, but make no mistake, this event every year comes with a lot of emotion, a lot of meaning. And over the years, we've met some very special friends and heroic children at CHEO.
And right now, we want to take a moment to remember them. every year. If that is not a reason to give, I don't know what is.
The reason we are here, and we are going to continue with the last half hour of our telethon with another miracle match.
This miracle match is sponsored by GivesCo.
We are back again with CTV Stefan Keys. Stefan?
Thanks, Graham. GivesCo is happy to be a part of the CHEO Telethon to support families in our region, and we are thrilled to welcome this new Miracle Match sponsor. We want to welcome Olivia. Thank you so much for being with us, and tell us why you're choosing to support CHEO.
Thank you, Stefan. GivesCo is a construction company that supplies and specializes in masonry products such as brick and stone and concrete restoration products. We service the commercial and residential markets in Ontario and Quebec. CHEO holds such a really special, important place in all of our hearts, especially my family, as we are now 3 generations who work at CHEO. From where I work in the Research Institute, and along with my cousins who work both at the foundation and the hospital, we all get to see firsthand the most amazing and special care and advances done for the children in our community.
Well, we want to thank you, and we want to thank GivesCo for being with us and for supporting CHEO and for sponsoring our next Miracle Match. I'm going to let you go now. We're going to start the clock.
Yep, get it started. $5,000. With that, just before this, and we talked about too, the kids. Graham mentioned it. If that's not a reason to give,
that's right.
Not sure what it is. We've given you all the stats. We've given you all the numbers. We've told you all the stories today. Now is your opportunity to give. It's one of your final opportunities to do this before we unveil the finale, the big one. So call us 613-730-CHEO. 613-730-2436 is the number to call. We're going to double your donations. We just talked about. We've been talking about them all day here in the next 2.5 minutes.
That's right. This really is about doubling your donations here at the Miracle Match Center. We want to keep our virtual phone bank volunteers busy. I see lips moving. They're active. I want to thank those who are donating for what you've already contributed, but we got to keep it going. We still have time left before 7 o'clock.
We got almost 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes left to be able to get in. A lot still to do. So again, give us a call right now. Have your donation doubled here in the next 2 minutes. Kennedy, how much time do we have left?
There's only 2 minutes left in the Miracle Match. Make a difference. Call now and donate.
Yes. Kennedy's got the shot. Kennedy can hoop.
Yes, you
not
cannot
me.
hoop.
I'm not allowed. I've been cut off from doing that now for the rest
again.
of the show. Oh, and never again.
Yeah, don't do the hoop thing again.
Fine. It's not like I'm G-Rich out there trying to little fade. Okay, anyways, we'll leave
Shots
it alone.
fired.
GivesCo talk about the fact that they are sponsoring this Miracle Match and matching up to $5,000 here for the next minute and a half. It's your opportunity to double your donation. If you give $10, it's going to be $20. If you give $25, it's going to be $50. We've been talking about it all afternoon. If you're just joining us, thank you for being here. Now pick up the phone and call us. CHEOTelethon.com is another avenue to give, but have a conversation if you're up for it with a human being. Have a nice little chat with the people here behind us or others that are standing by to answer the phones in order to have your impact right now.
We heard from Olivia of GivesCo. They're in the business of construction, providing materials. You can help build up CHEO. They're going to double your donations and support the CHEO Hospital. It's doing so much for our community.
We need some more energy. Lincoln and Levi, how much time?
Miracle Match, please come and donate.
Donate! We need to get going. Let's go. We're almost at the end right now.
613-730-CHEO. Pick up the phone, call, make that donation.
They're excited for you to pick up the phone and call us. That's all it takes. It's a very simple task, and we continue to talk about everything that your donation dollars go to, whether it's in a certain clinic, whether it's in order to have, as we talk about tongue depressors and how many thousands of those are used in CHEO over the course of a year, whether it's helping cancer patients in oncology or otherwise mental health. We've covered the whole spectrum of what CHEO does today. GivesCo is sponsoring and doubling your donation right now.
People don't even realize that some of the equipment for children, juvenile patients, is actually more expensive than adults because they're so complicated, the different sizes. I always think about the blood pressure cuffs. It comes in 6 different sizes because those bodies are so small.
Call right now. Pick up the phone. That's all it takes.
We're asking
Get in there.
you nicely, please continue to support us.
GivesCo, thank you for sponsoring this. We've got one more Miracle Match, and then you can stop hearing from us. But until then, stay tuned.
I think we've seen those guys jump 3 times. Jump around, out of control.
They're making me jumpy, I gotta say.
They're making me jumpy, yeah. It's great.
I'd like to say that they're on a roll, like one of our favorite events for
Right.
CHEO, which is coming up here. Leanne.
This is such a privileged seat. From this chair, I get to share the many ways all of you give to this hospital. The next one is a very big way. CN has been the title sponsor of CN Cycle for CHEO for 15 years. Here to tell us all about it is Melissa Cotton, Senior Manager, Government Affairs, Corporate Services, CN Rail. Lovely to see you, Melissa.
You too, Leanne.
What a day for CN Cycle. Tell us all about it.
It makes me feel so good to think about how much this community comes together to support children at CHEO. CN, this was our 15th year as the presenting sponsor of the CN Ride for CHEO, and we couldn't be more thrilled with the outcomes of the day. After 2 years of everybody not being able to be together, it was amazing to see all the folks out, and just such a thrill to be able to support kids and families at CHEO.
Oh, of all ages and all fitness levels, all riding together. A lot of togetherness, because you have brought along a check for
an amazing amount, Leanne, today. I am so proud and so thrilled of our community to say that this year's check is for $1,428,789, which is a new record.
Melissa, I am holding on to the chair. Stratospheric. We're so grateful. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Leanne, and thank you to the community.
It's the final 15. 15 minutes left.
We are down to the final 15. What a way to start the final 15.
Yeah, absolutely. And we brought Alex Munter back for the final portion of our show, a final check reveal, final 2 miracle matches. While we were on air here, you actually zipped over to the hospital where another busy day, right?
It's another busy day, and it's, the month of May. It seems to be persisting into June, month of May, the busiest May ever in the history of CHEO, the second busiest month ever in the history of CHEO in terms of activity, emergency department visits, very sick kids that need to be admitted. A lot of babies there right now with respiratory issues and high flow oxygen. So thank you, of course, to the staff, the clinicians, everybody working really hard to support families. Kids should be out playing on a day like this, not in the hospital. But everybody working really hard, and in their hands are the tools that donors to the Telethon, donors to the CHEO Foundation have placed there. And I was there. I just felt so much gratitude in my heart for the generosity.
And we do need to. This is a significant moment here. We're going to go to Leanne Cusack again for a big announcement. Leanne.
Get ready for some excitement. We count on Costco for so much, for those large bulk items that make such a difference in our home. Costco perennially makes the most profound difference in our hearts and for the tiny hearts at CHEO. Here now with a whole lot of wholesale philanthropy, we have Darren Pedricki, the warehouse manager of Gloucester, and Jean-Paul Bernier, the warehouse manager in Canada. Guys, it's so great to see you, and I'm not just saying that because I know that you're about to present the most incredible check. It's really good to see you. Tell us what you've done for 30 years for CHEO.
Well, we're very fortunate to have such a world-class facility like CHEO in our community. We have fantastic employees, extremely generous members, and we're very happy to give what I'm sure is going to be a record amount this year, and we're all very excited about it.
JP, you excited?
Absolutely. And so are our members and our employees. This is very important to us. And we've got a great number this year.
You always have a great number. I'm actually holding onto my stool because you normally throw me off of it with the number. But JP, you personally know the meaning of this hospital in our community?
Absolutely. I've had personal reasons to get involved with CHEO, and my members and my employees give me stories all the time. We are very fortunate.
We're very fortunate. We're very grateful to CHEO, and we're grateful to Costco. All right, I'll hold on to the chair as you guys present the 2022 Costco check to CHEO, a staggering amount of unbelievable. You guys
are we supposed to jump?
Calm, cool, and collected, but that is so incredibly generous. Thank you very, very much. Almost at a loss for words.
There's never been a check that big at the CHEO Telethon. That's a lot of Costco employees and a lot of Costco shoppers. Thank you to all of you.
And I was telling Alex earlier, at my Costco Gloucester, the employees are very invested in this. They want to compete with each other and get that big number.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Wow. T-cells and cancer often go hand in hand in conversation. But for one little boy who loves dinosaurs, you could say he's more of a T-Rex who fiercely fought back against the disease, threatening to take his life.
3-year-old Isaac is a survivor in every sense, and as Stefan Keys tells us, his parents say his fighting chance is thanks to CHEO.
While the roar is cute, what this young dinosaur fan faces is not. 3-year-old Isaac battling stage 3 cancer, diagnosed at age 2. Just a couple of years into life, and a high-risk case of neuroblastoma already threatening to take it away.
I remember that night quite clearly, and being terrified.
It started with something as simple as a fever, high enough to be of concern, but in that moment doctors found nothing unusual. Flu-like symptoms treated accordingly, and then a few days later, a lump.
We kind of assumed just a little hernia, but let's go into CHEO, into emergency, and get it checked out and see what's going on.
That's when time to act became critical. From a diaper change where a lump was discovered near the abdomen to a cancer diagnosis that would turn into a hospital stay, making rooms and beds like this one home.
No.
Isaac has a rare mutation that causes his cancer to grow quickly. And with all of it taking place during a global pandemic, it meant these two loving parents were made to feel isolated at times, even from one another.
Because of the one parent limit or no visitors at one point during COVID, it's tough to have that support system. We actually did quite well. There's a lot of great handoffs that we had, and CHEO was so accommodating. They let us have an overlap where we can discuss our day, check in on each other. A lot of hospitals didn't allow that.
I'm always humbled by how well so many of our parents are able to face these enormous challenges, and they do it with such courage and grace that it's quite remarkable.
Banana?
Isaac could often be persuaded to deal with the doctor by a cool incentive that would help ease the pain of checkups.
Isaac was rather fond of popsicles, and we found that if we managed to have a popsicle in the room, then he was more open to trying something different, even if he didn't want to do it.
There's also an element of irony in Isaac's story. The day he was diagnosed, September 1st, marked the first day of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And though he was only 2 at the time, being above 20 months meant he was considered an older patient for this pediatric condition.
I was just so ready. It was game on, let's just do it, make sure that he's well. And they really gave me that hope and the comfort that I really needed at that time.
Attacking it to give him the life he was meant to have would be grueling.
The biggest challenge is that the cells are quite resistant to treatment. And so what we do is to try and give several different types of treatment to try and remove all resistant cells.
The doctor describes the cells like a bunch of grapes that aren't all the same. Some could be Concord, Moondrop, Ruby Red, and because of that, killing them all takes a different approach for each. Protocol is chemotherapy, surgery, stem cell transplants, and immunotherapy to blast all the bad cells from the body. That fight playing out in this small frame, none of it easy, all of it necessary to get them to this moment. The celebratory sound tolling for this family who made it through more than 100 nights living at the hospital. It wasn't without scares or close calls.
And so being woken up to everybody running into a room, it's hard to go back to bed after that.
Isaac now considered in the clear. Though the monitoring continues, and for such a small guy, in a world where he is unaware that his experience isn't average, he made dino steps towards recovery.
And we are very pleased to have Isaac and his parents, Anne and Sean Moore, join us now. And thank you all for being here. How is Isaac doing right now?
Isaac's doing very well right now. Hey, Isaac, you say hi.
There's us on the TV.
That's right.
You
We're
look
doing very
great on
good.
TV.
Yeah, it's an exciting moment for us. Isaac just had surgery to remove his port on Friday, so a couple days ago, which is a pretty big milestone in the oncology world. So a port is a device he has underneath his skin so that he can get medication and do blood transfusions. So that's a really good sign when that comes out.
Wow, a little celebration right here on the CHEO Telethon. We love that. We want to take you back just a little bit, though. Neuroblastoma, obviously a very tough, intense diagnosis, and it means that you are obviously in for a very intense battle. What were you feeling when you realized what you were up against?
Did you want to go for that?
You know, I think Ann and I both deal really well with a plan. The first couple weeks when we went into the ER and we were waiting was very challenging. That's when everything goes through your mind, everything from bad to worse, probably, I would say. But I know when we got that diagnosis in September 2020 and sat down with the team, they laid it all out for us. They kind of drew the 15 to 18 month plan, and Isaac kind of executed that to the T. And we finished up in 15 or 16 months with no real major setbacks or anything. And so getting that plan, it was long, it was intense, and it had its challenges. But knowing we had a plan and that the team knew exactly what they were going to do to give Isaac the best shot was super comforting at that point.
And then things have gone the way that they have, and this little guy sitting with you, this incredible love of dinosaurs. I'm a little disappointed there's no dinosaur costume today that we saw in the piece. Tell me a little bit about Isaac.
Isaac is like any other 3-year-old. He is running and now jumping, which is exciting. His gross motor skills have come a long way. But yeah, he loves dinosaurs of all kinds. He knows about dozens of different dinosaurs, which is What's your favorite dinosaur? A T-Rex, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, he loves getting dirty and messy, and it's nice to be able to do those normal things again.
What is about these sweet little kids that pick the meanest, baddest dinosaur out there to be their favorite all the time? We love.
Yeah, the scarier the better.
We love having a chance to meet Isaac and to meet both of you, and we wish you nothing but the best in the future. Thanks so much for sharing your story today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's the final 5. 5 minutes left. Here we go.
5 more minutes. One more miracle match, Patricia.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
This miracle match is sponsored by TD Bank.
All right, going back one more time to Steph Ann Keys. Steph.
All right, this final miracle match comes to us from TD Bank Group. It's a long-standing partner. TD enriches our communities by contributing to children's hospitals right across the country. As our last miracle match of this broadcast, TD invites you to donate and support CHEO, your local children's hospital. Matt Scooby, for the last time today, let's start the clock.
Start it right now, shall we? This is the last miracle match. Call the number on your screen, 613-730-CHEO, 613-730-2436. We've been saying that number all day long. Speaking of numbers, let's give you some. Over 6,000 inpatient admissions, almost 65,000 emergency visit departments, 127,000 clinic visits, 7,600 surgeries. These are our show notes. It's the last one. It's time to go and call the number on your screen. If you haven't donated now, this is your final opportunity to have your donation doubled.
Last stretch, folks. We are doubling. We are doubling. We are doubling. We want to thank everyone who has contributed to the telethon thus far. Let's get these folks busy on the phones.
They're busy. One more time. One more time. We need them to call.
Needs to be busy. Another person needs to be busy.
Go right now. Look, they're right there.
613-730-CHEO. Pick up the phone. Dial.
Right now, as fast as you can. Fast as you can. We're gonna go 2 minutes. No, just kidding. We're not gonna do that. Kingston, how much time do we have left?
No time for rest. There's only 2 minutes left in this miracle match. Call now.
See, Kingston was having a nap.
Kingston's not sleeping.
No, he
you
got
shouldn't
up
sleep
just
either.
in time.
Don't sleep on CHEO. Wake up.
We had our
pick up
mid-show
the
naps.
phone.
Well, I had a mid-show
You
nap.
had a mid-show
I'm
nap.
not. Did you get one in?
No.
You've been so busy
I don't
this
sleep
show.
on the
You've been
job.
doing so
That's not
busy.
my MO.
Anyways, don't sleep on this right now, though. Call us. It's your chance. We're doubling your donation up to $10,000 in the next minute and 40 seconds. This is when you can have your impact. I know we've been yelling at you a lot. We've told you some wonderful stories. How about Isaac and the T-Rex? Your best T-Rex voice? No?
No.
Scream? No?
No.
Call now! No, just kidding.
Stop scaring
I'm going to
people.
try to scare people,
We'll
but that's
get the
okay.
CHEO Bear back on board.
Oh, please dial 613-730 CHEO. Pick up the phone right now.
That's a better one to do.
2436. Right now.
We need you to call us as soon as possible. We're losing it a little bit. We're excited to see the final total. You can add to it by doubling your donation. Alfie and Florence, how much time do we have?
How can you say no to this face? Only 1 minute left in this miracle match. Call now.
That's it. That's the final. You know what? Can we say thank you to all the kids that have helped us out with the countdowns? You have been wonderful today.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all the families that have helped. If you want to have an impact, if you want to have your donation, again, we talked about it. You're doubling it. You have 40 seconds left in the final miracle match of the program.
Oh, I'm excited.
I know. I'm
I
excited
can't wait.
too. Getting all
We're
excited.
jumping again?
Yeah, we're jumping again. We're jumping again. Call the number on your screen. 613-730-CHEO. 613-730-2436. Everybody breathe with us. Give us a phone call. Pick it up. It's very easy. Just grab it, grab the phone, and call it right in your pocket from the couch, no matter where you are right now. We are excited. Everyone else is excited too.
Right.
But you know what? You can have your impact. If you get in before it ends, if you get in right now, before this miracle match is up, TD is matching your donation up to $10,000.
Be a hero for CHEO. We don't all wear capes. Any amount. Any amount.
We're all stronger together. TD, thank you so much for your continued support of the CHEO Telethon. Hey, been a blast, pal. Boom. Back to the desk.
Wow, those guys.
No fun at all. They sometimes wear capes.
Do they do birthday parties?
Wow, they got the voices going.
Fundraising idea.
Well, the time has come. I think we do need a hand here.
CHEO kids, help us count down to that final tote board.
You ready to count down from 10?
Yeah. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Give me a 2, 1.
All right, here it is, the final tally today. Look at
$12 million.
My goodness. They can throw.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
A huge thank you to the community. Alex, Steve, your reaction to just an incredible trouble.
After everything Ottawa's been through in Eastern Ontario, just to see this generosity, just amazing, just amazing.
What a place we live in, isn't it? Isn't this wonderful?
It's
Thank
just
you so
an
much.
incredible number. What a day. And and those kids to finish this off. Just that's what it's all about.
A huge thank you on behalf of all of the kids. You've been wonderful.
Thank you all very much. And now we're gonna, maybe there's more voices over there from Matt and Stefan. More, yeah, there they go. Yeah, there they go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need them for your birthday parties, call the newsroom.
Yes, please take them off our hands. We'll see you here next year. Thank you so much, everyone.